Today, what we're going to be doing is going to be talking about something. We're going to be talking about the time that I lost a bit of my tooth and how my tooth, or my big tooth in front of me that you can see whenever I speak, isn't actually real. It's a fun, messed up story that I will probably just have for the rest of my life because literally this tooth is a part of me as it would be anything else at the moment. Let me paint a picture for you guys right now. I was probably 12, 13, and it was the summer holidays here in the UK. What that is, for anyone who doesn't know, is that's a period of time during the summer when you're able to, I think it's 6 weeks, where go off and you're able to be free, do what you want, go out and have fun with friends and that type of thing. And at this point in time, during his holidays, I wasn't hanging around with the best set of people. Now, these are all people I knew in, like, my hometown, but, like, they weren't the thing that I really went into. I don't know them now. I have no idea what they're up to. They were just people at the time that I felt I wanted to hang out with. I have no idea why, because looking back, they weren't actually good friends. And you'll find out the reason for that when I tell you this story, because let me tell you, leading up to all these different factors, you're just going to be like, why the hell was he friends with these people? And honestly, I have no idea. I don't understand why younger me was like, you know what would be really good if if these people are my friends. And there's some other stories that I could tell that were messed up. I probably won't ever tell you, so we're just going to completely ignore that. So yeah, it's the summer holidays, and I'm going to go hang out with these set of friends. Now, these set of friends, they live pretty much on the other side of. I just hit the window. Window? That's the window. I just hit the mirror. Stupid mirror. Yeah, so these guys, they live on the other side of town, and pretty much every day I would walk to that side of town, would hang out, do random stuff. There's like a forest nearby, and we would just walk around, you know, chatting the utmost of, because that's what you do as a kid. You don't really do anything in the summer holidays. You kind of were out and about, or at least that's what I did. Pretty sure it's probably different nowadays with like video games and stuff like that, and everything being majority online. You hardly really see any kids chilling out the way I used to at the weekend, because everyone's playing those sick online video games, dude, trying to be cool. Wow, I just really aged myself, didn't I? Oh, that's just, oh, that made me feel awful. But anyway, yeah, so I go over and see my friends, and we're walking around, and we have this, there was this underground pass that was literally had a train track on top of it, and you could go underneath it, and there was like a dirt track that led up to two different ways, and it basically was the connection point for two different estates that were like close in proximity to each other, and we would constantly walk between all these different estates on the other side of the town that I was in. We're going towards this other estate, and on the way there we find that one of the posts for like a sign is literally a little bit wobbly. I think we found out because I think one of my friends decided that they were going to kick it, and when they kicked it, it obviously went shh. And us being the dumb teenagers that we are, decided, well, I didn't decide, they decided. I didn't know, no idea to it, because I was off to the side talking to someone, and this is the reason for what happened. So basically, they were like pushing and pulling it, trying to like whittle it out like you would. I was facing away from the actual like sign being pushed and pulled, talking to someone else behind me, and you just hear it rocking backwards and forwards, and literally all I hear for a sudden split second was "watch out." And as I hear those words, it literally falls on me, the sign. So imagine like the sign's like that thin, and it has like a pole. Like the sign isn't falling on me face on, like it's not falling for me like that, it's falling for me like that, where like, you know, that could do some serious damage. Now I think about it, like if it wouldn't have hit my tooth, probably would have had a scar on my face, and I would have looked cool as. The sign came down and bashed into my tooth and like hit the ground. And I didn't really think too much about it. I was kind of like, oh, is something wrong with my face? Is anything okay? And my friends had a look at it, and they were like, oh, I think you're bleeding a little bit. Luckily, one of the people that I was with, his home was nearby, so we decided to go back there and basically get myself all nice and cleaned up, because I didn't want to, like, you know, have this like streaming down me. And I got to his place, and I was like washing up, and I was in his bathroom. He was outside just waiting for me to be okay. And I basically cleaned up, and I cleaned out the blood, and the blood stopped going. And then I realized that a bit of my tooth had like completely gone. I reckon it's probably still in that ground today, to be honest. I need to go home. I need to go home and get this sorted, because being at the age of 13, you really can't like avoid like that's kind of stuff from your parents, so you can't hide it. It's like your main tooth. Someone's gonna notice that it's not there, and it was a pretty big gash out of it. So I end up walking all the way home, middle of the day, blazing hot heat, and I get home to my lovely mother, who who, when I tell her, has a massive go at me and says, "Why the hell were you pulling out a post out of the ground?" I'm like, it weren't me, they were doing it. I was just a beneficiary. She's like, you're not meant to do that. And I was like, yeah, I know, but I weren't doing anything, and it was just a split the heat of the moment. And after a little bit of back and forth, I was like, are we able to do something? Next thing I know, a time jump. I'm at the dentist, basically getting like a polymer filling on my tooth to make it look like my tooth is actually full and doesn't have to worry about the fact that it's fake. And it looked really, really good. And if you look closely at my tooth, I'm not going to show you that because that's gross. You look closely at my tooth, you can see the lining between where my real tooth is and where the polymer starts, which is very fascinating to see. And so yeah, so I get this polymer, and I'm like, oh, it's fine, I can go about my day, no problem at all. I remember this so vividly in my head, like a flash time jump, another like 2 months, and I'm in my room, and I've got a packet of Walker's ready salted crisps, right? And I'm just munching down, having a great little time, probably watching a video or whatever on the old YouTubes. And I remember getting this crisp stuck inside of the middle tooth gap of my 2 teeth, and just instinctively forgetting about the fact that there's polymer there, I got my nail from my hand and put my thing, and then swiped down. And as I did that to get that out, the whole of the polymer just came out, and it's been like a couple of months, so I completely forgot about it. And I was just like, why would you do this to me? Oh, now I have to go back. And I remember going downstairs, and I was like, my mum was like, what were you doing? I was like, I was just eating crisps. And I was just trying to get something out. So obviously I had to go back to the dentist to get it fixed. My dentist coming up to me and saying, okay, we're gonna put it back and that kind of thing, but if this comes out again, we'll most likely have to drill into your tooth to make it stay. And I was just like, yep, don't want that to happen. Nope, absolutely not. And every single time I got something stuck inside of the gap in between my 2 big teeth, I would freak out, because just the idea of going back to the dentist and having them drill in the polymer into my tooth was freaking me out. I don't mind the dentist. I don't think the dentist is a bad place. I think it's actually, you know, reasonably good. I don't think there's anything bad about it. But the idea of drilling into my tooth. So whenever I got something stuck in between the middle 2 teeth, I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to go to the toilet. I'm going to get my brush, and I'm going to poke it out. And that's what I do now. I don't ever think about, like, trying to use my teeth. And I hate, like, the idea of that kind of thing. And that has been like that. How long have I had this now? So I have had this current one for at least, I want to say 10 years, which is a very long time. And I'm just really scared that one day it's just going to come out and be like, oh, you suck. You can't do that. That sucks to be you.